Honoring those who serve. It is a commitment. Here at 12 News this morning, we have the incredible story of a Scottsdale man who became part of history in one of World War II's most daring rescue missions. Team 12's Mark Curtis tells us how his family is sharing his story for new generations.
It was April of 1944. B-17 bombers were tasked with the mission to bombard oil fields in Romania that were being held by the German army. Paul Moore recounts the fateful mission that his father, tail gunner Robert Moore, took that day.
In fact, that was the second heavily guarded target next to Berlin because that supplied the oil and gasoline for the German movement. So it was a highly prized target. We were bombing that area, and that's where my dad went over to do that mission, but never quite made it.
Never quite made it because of an engine problem that forced Moore's B-17 back towards the base in Italy. As they flew over Yugoslavia, Moore's B-17 started taking enemy fire, forcing the crew to bail out of their doomed aircraft. Now, caught behind enemy lines, Moore and the surviving B-17 crew were helped into hiding by a Serbian resistance group.
They said they were treated very well. They had goat cheese and milk from goats and bread. Just wonderful people, he said.
For months, Moore and his crewmates hid in villages in Serbia, kept hidden from the Nazis. Then, one of the great covert rescue missions of the war was launched to rescue Moore and approximately 500 other downed airmen called Operation Halyard, a story he couldn't tell anyone about, including his family, for another 50 years while the government kept the mission classified.
They just really kind of bottled it up and kept it inside.
But it's now a story being told at the Commemorative Air Force Base in Mesa.
Like most of the air crews and a lot of folks coming back from the war, the families just never heard these stories, as our family.
Once out of the war, Robert Moore got married and started working as a letter carrier. Sick of walking through the Iowa snow, he moved his family to Scottsdale in the 1960s and continued his career with the Postal Service. He also enjoyed woodworking, creating pieces like this that won an award at the Arizona State Fair. Robert Moore passed away in 2017. His experiences in Serbia and Operation Halyard were never far from his mind, and his quiet inspiration is never far from his son's mind.
What a wonderful, modest man he was. I think that's my biggest takeaway is what a wonderful role model he was.
Incredible. Well, Paul Moore is a volunteer at the Commemorative Air Force Air Base at Falcon Field in Mesa, where he and the rest of the volunteers there have stories like this and so many more. They're open from Wednesdays to Saturdays. 12 News is honoring the courage, dedication, and sacrifice of those in our armed forces. We want to share the stories and photographs of those veterans who are closest to you. To submit your Those Who Serve stories and photos for a chance to be featured, just go to 12news.com/thosewhoserve.